This is Damon Stevens with FinWealth Live. Today is June 13th, 2021, and I am going to do something a little different this next week. I am planning on doing these live, and so we'll see how that goes. It'll be first time being live, so we'll see if it works all right. But, in this week, or as we prep for this week, want to make sure that we cover things a little bit differently. So, we cover so many stocks, and everybody kind of has their own preference as far as what they're looking for, whether it's small caps, whether it's stock under $10, stock under over $10, stock over 250, Bitcoin, Ethereum, what have you. So I decided to organize this a little differently. So you'll see as we go through this, I've kind of broken it up section by section. So we'll start with the smaller stocks to larger stocks. We'll cover Bitcoins, the indexes and futures, and anything else that we have along the way, including earnings. So hopefully this works for you. Provide some feedback. Let me know if this works well for you. Everybody just wants something different. So I obviously won't hit it all, but at least I'll try this and see if this works and see if people like this a little bit better. So let's have at it. If you're not subscribed to our channel, go ahead and subscribe now to FinWealth Live. Also, make sure you leave a like on the videos that you like, and that way I can go back and look at them and see which ones I should, which methods I should use and which ones I should not, because I want to make sure this is helpful for you. This is the only reason I'm doing this is for you and for your benefit. I'm a financial advisor. This is my trades in here, not your trades necessarily. But giving you my thoughts, my ideas, things that I'm thinking about as I'm going into this next week. And if those work for your plan, then great. We can, hopefully celebrate together. And if not, then, good luck with your trades and we'll move forward with that. So as far as earnings, you can see that they're starting to get really light. So we're kind of towards the end of the earnings season. So they'll be scattered here and there, but the big stuff's over with. And this overall season, I think I told you before in other videos that I was a little disappointed. I think a lot of it is because the market's so high right now as far as the values and the prices. I don't think there's as much volatility as I expected this season as I did last season. Last season was a lot more profitable for me through the earnings seasons using that technique that I share in my training videos. But it is what it is, and we still made money, so that's the important part. And looking into this week, looks like Oracle on Tuesday, H&R Block, Lazy Boy are the ones I'm looking at. On Wednesday, Lennar, Thursday, Kroger, and Adobe. But it's pretty light. Nothing on Friday, so Friday's a day off for at least earnings. But that's what I'm looking at for this week. So if you're kind of curious on what's out there, that's it. As far as earnings, we talked about this. Everything's looking good overall for companies. So now let's get into our stocks. So stocks under $10 that I'm looking at this week. I have more that I'm looking at right now. I'll put them in probably next, probably Monday's night's video. But I'm looking at others that are under 10. But just here's a couple here that I'm looking at. Well, the first one's eyes. Right now you see eyes at it did a breakout. It broke up and it went up from 623 to 684, and that's not much. Again, I'm looking for something that it's going to go up about 50 cents. So this was like really pushing it, but it went up. Did not. I mean, this is not a run that's easy to get because by the time you get the breakout at 644, I'm only scalping off 30-40% on this, and so it's just not much of a run because you can see that we had resistance up here. I didn't mark it on the chart, but I can mark it here. This is resistance, and that's exactly where it came up to and stopped, and then pulled back, and then just kind of curved up. And after hours, it's started to climb back up. And that's why I put it back on my radar, because it's right now it's above all the moving averages, and I'm expecting that this may try to go ahead and bump up again, and maybe try to break through this 680 levels, possibly go towards a new high again, but. We'll see. I'm a little concerned about the volume. We'll see if volume can come in this week. If it doesn't, this may die off, and I'll just be looking at other trades. PRTY is another one I'm looking at. It's actually now over. Well, it's at $10.09, so it's at the threshold of crossing over. But you can see that it came up, retraced back almost the whole candle, but it stopped on the 5, which is a good thing. So the moving, it's above all the moving averages. The next day on Friday, it's again above the moving averages. It didn't move much, which means it didn't have a lot of volume. You can see down here, and a lot of momentum to carry it up. I'm hoping it'll carry it up and try to break through again. It's a little bit more risky right now just because it doesn't have the volume that I expected to have. So I'm keeping an eye on it, but I'm hoping that it can find some volume and momentum to carry it forward and break through to, up towards, $1.40, up to 14, maybe up to $14 up here. But for now, we'll see if it just break the 11 level, maybe go to 12, 12 and a half. But that's what I'm looking for on that one. Got a lot more on the under 10, but that's it for now. So $10 to $100, and tell me if these groupings work well for you or not, and I can adjust if they're too broad or too wide. But this is typically what I've at least traded or seen people trade or people ask questions about. So 10 to 100. So here's one at 20, $15 here to maybe $19. And this is a workhorse. I've been watching this one. It dropped off, quite a bit from its highs, but it's been making a climb back now, and it's, getting above all the moving averages. You can see here that on the 9th that it got up here close to $19, and then it kind of failed, kind of tapered off back here, and it's just been consolidating now down here for a little bit. So that's usually a sign that it's trying to decide which way it wants to go and build some momentum possibly to climb again. Volumes have been going down though, so we got to get some volume in. If this week we don't get volume in, then I'm get concerned that the market may pull back a little bit to try to reset, which is not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of times it's good when the market pulls back, because then it gets energy to punch through and move to new highs. But we'll see what happens. But I'm watching this one workhorse to see if it can break out, above 1627 and start to climb back up again or not. LI has another one. LI is one that I really like because I've traded this one. It's been good. You see that we went from 47 down to $16, bottomed out, and then it's not been making a rally back up. And you can see last 4 days it's trying to break that $28 line there, and it's just having a hard time. But it's still there. It's above all the moving averages. So if it can break out, I'm expecting it to try to go to 32. If it doesn't break out, it'll probably fail to go back close to 200, which is down around $24. So, we got a $4 plus or minus either way. So I'm going to be watching that first thing Monday morning, because this is one that I definitely want to see what direction it's going to go, so I can take advantage of it. AMC, I know this is on everybody's radar. People are watching it. We've been in it. My son's been in it. It pulled back, from that $77. Kind of gone back and forth. And I told you last week I was getting ready to take this off my radar, because you can see here, it was holding the 50, and then it dropped through the 50 and down through the 100. And so I was like, okay, it's going to go to 200, but it held at 200. It popped on it off of it, and it's tried to climb up above all the moving averages, and so it's back on my radar again. So we'll see. I don't know if it's going to punch up and try to get back to around $60. You can see it's about $10 increments that the AMC goes up and down. If it fails, it could come down to the 200, around $46. But if it can hold this and stay above the moving averages, it might make an attempt to try to get back up to 60 again. So another one I'm watching this week carefully, because I think there's some, if it gets momentum and some volume back in again, you see it was above average volume, we can maybe move this one up north again. Pets, another one. Pets, so Pets came down from $48 and hit the 200, right? And bounced off the 200, back up, found resistance at 36, which it had the resistance here as well back in 36. So that's an area it's got to break through. So I'm watching this to see, it stayed above the 200. So it's 200's great support. So that's a positive thing. It's curving up. It's right now, the price is over all the moving averages. If it can bust above 36, I think you got to run. So that's what I'm waiting to see, is if this can get the momentum up. I might scalp it on the way up to 36. If it falls below 200, it's off. That's my stop. It's off the table. But If you can stay above here and curl up, try to ride it. If it can break $36, then I think we got to run to probably up to, you know, there's resistance along the way about every dollar. So, so 37, 38, 39, all will be resistance. But you have this big breakdown candle right here. We've talked about this in multiple videos. When you have a big breakdown candle, if it can get into the zone of that breakdown candle, it can usually climb that candle in price. And that's what I'm hoping it'll do. And I think that's why you see it came up right below this candle and it fell back. Tried to go rally back up, failed back. Tried to rally back up, failed. Tried to go up again, failed. So this breakdown candle, this low right here, is kind of a barrier. If it can break that, I think it can climb this candle. Just my opinion, my thoughts, what I'm looking for in the charts to see where I can see it this rally back up towards new highs. So that's another one I'm watching carefully. AMC, okay, we covered that one, so I'll take that off. I didn't realize I had that duplicated on there. Okay, this is 100 to 200. So 100 to $200 price stocks, and hopefully I get them all right in here. Oh, this is under 100. So I'll move back here. We'll go back to AYX. So AYX is at $73 right now. You can see that it hit a high. Here, let me pull this down. $140 and came back down to 73. And now it's bumped back up to 82. And you can see that it's just getting above that 50 moving average. So that's a positive thing. So if we can do that, I think we got to run up north. So AYX is another one that I'm definitely watching. I think it's got some legs for possibly Monday. So that's one of my ones that I'm also watching carefully. Okay, let's jump back over to the 100 to 250. So EA is one. It's kind of been choppy. I mean, you can see the resistance up here. I didn't mark on the chart. I'll mark it now. You know, this 147 range is 146, 147 range has been a lot of resistance. You can see that it came up, it failed, came back up, hit it, tried to break through it a couple times and failed. Pulled back again to get some energy, came back up, failed again. So if I can get above the 147, 148 level, I think we got to run on this stock on EA. So I'm watching this carefully. The last 4 days, it's been bumping against the ceiling again. It's got to have some volume. It's got to have some volume to pop this above there. So I'm watching this to see if it can get the volume in here and pop above this and then close above this 147 range. If it can, then it should be ready to run. If it fails, again, you're seeing this where it comes back to the 200, back to the 200. So it could possibly come back to that 200 again. So if it fails, so I'm hoping it can break through and we can get a run on this, but watching it carefully. A is another one. It's already done its run. I mean, let me be careful when I say that. So, it was down 127. It's at 143. It's been on this run for the last few weeks. I don't know if it's got enough to get through and continue on, possibly to run up about every dollar up to maybe 148. It's possible, but most of this run was already taken out over the last few weeks here. But you can see it try to break through. So obviously there's a barrier at 144 area. It tried to break through again. It failed. So just trying to see if it can break through this. If it can break through this zone, then I think we got to run up. So if not, we're falling back to at least 141 and then down from there. GameStop. The reason I have it over here is it is, in that range. So it's over, actually this is over 250. So I'll move it over here to 250 plus. So I'll get these straight up. This is something new. I'm just trying. So, so let's see. So GameStop, yes. So let's talk about GameStop. GameStop, it came down. I told you I was going to take it off my radar because I thought the run was pretty much done. And then, it's continued to surprise me and just kind of find its way to kind of hold on. So you can see right here on Friday, it pulled down close to this 50 moving average and it held. And it came right back up and it's right above, just barely at the 20 moving average. So I'm like, okay, if you want to do that, maybe you're going to chase this breakdown candle again. So, so you see this big breakdown candle. You can see that on Friday, it came down, dipped down, and then rallied back up towards this candle. So I'm curious to see if this will at least retrace back up 50% of this candle. So I'll be watching it Monday, maybe even through Tuesday, just to see if it's going to give me a chance to ride this back up, that candle. If it's able to ride above the candle and get above the top of that candle, then you can start to see a rally, up to possibly to highs again. Doubtful. I think it'll fail before it's where my line is right now, right here in the support line, where I think resistance line, where I think it's going to fail. Could be wrong, but if it does rally that candle, I think it could fail. If it doesn't, we got a good pullback here to the 50 around 200, and then possibly down to 160 if it fails from there. So just keep an eye on that one. Crowd strike. So you can see this one, it's rallied up, pulled back, rallied up again, pulled back, rallied up again. And so it broke above this 127.20 level. I'm just waiting to see, can it hold here, continue to rally? Because you can see this is a big breakup candle. And then you have a smaller one here. So it could possibly that you get another run, possibly course 240 before it hits resistance, unless the market pulls back, and then it could pull back. But right now, great volume here, a little bit above average volume here. So if we can keep this momentum up here, we could possibly go towards 240 on this one. So that's what I'm looking for there. Tesla. So Tesla came up. 900 was its high, back in February. It dropped clear back down here to 593 or 539. Rallied back up, failed again. Rallied back up to 780, which is kind of this trend line I got right here right now. And then pulled back to 546, just in this range here. Tried to rally again, failed, came back. And again, it's below that 200 the last two times, which is usually very bearish, but it's keeps rallying back above it. So we'll see. It's still below the 50 and the 100, and it's got to get above those to really kind of get a bullish momentum. But you can see that it's in this wedge here. So if we got this wedge, I think this is going to kind of bounce here, might come up again, bounce off this, come down, and then it should try to rally up. If the market continues to hold, it could rally up. If it does have a failed breakout, breaks below that 200, then it's coming down probably to this 511 and then possibly lower if it breaks out of this triangle on the south side versus the north side. So definitely Tesla still provides opportunities. Most days, at least $5. A lot of days they're $10 candles. So it's still providing opportunity for scalping it. But as far as long-term trading, no, it's not. I think it's lost a lot of its energy and momentum for a while. So I don't see that rallying back anytime soon. But there's still be money to be made off the stock. So Twilio. So Twilio has been on a downward trend, and it broke below the 200. You see kind of where it had support, and then it broke through, but it pulled back up above the 200, failed again. But it's got this momentum trend that's trading up. So I'm just I'm watching it. Don't know if it's going to get above these moving averages or not. But the last 2 days of that little rally, possibly could make this a breakout. But we'll see. I don't know if it's going to make it or not. But we'll see. Amazon has rallied up. Man, it was on the news. It's just taken right off again, finally. So it was at 3180, and it's clear up to 3348. I think it's the next stop's 3400. If it breaks 3400, we got a long run up to 3550. So we'll see if Amazon can get a rally here and continue to pull up. So crypto. So let's do Bitcoin. Bitcoin it has a nice little rally. It just kind of popped up there. It's almost at 39,000. So and this low is almost hit 30,000. So it's nice run if you're on this. I mean, there's maybe made on the way down and the way up, and right now it's on the way up, but it's got to break through this resistance here. You can see this resistance line I had here about 39,000. It looks like it just barely touched it today. Touched it back here as well, and then back here. So it's got to break through that, and it's got to close above that. The 200 still up here as well. It's got to get above. So I mean, it's got some work to do. but it's trying. It's trying, but it's still in this channel that I drew out a few weeks ago. So we'll see if it can break out of that and break into this next channel up here at least. Um, so and this and this is just let's looking at the 1 hour chart. So it's a 1 hour chart. You can see that it's trying to break through twice there, and now try to break through again. And this is like real time. So it tried to break through again, failed and pulled back a little bit. So it's trying, but it's going to have a lot more volume, extended volume, to get it to push through. So, and then Ethereum is trying to rally as well. Not as much as Bitcoin is, but you can see it's trying to pull up here as well as best as it can. You can see a little doji down here. So that usually means a reversal. So we'll see if it can rally back up through those moving averages. It's got to get above the 2750 range to try to break up and start moving up north again. So we'll see. Otherwise, it might just get stuck in this range. Cardano, so that pulled back quite a bit here to 137. Went back up for a rally to 150, came back to 140, and now we're rallying back up, and it's looking pretty good right now. It's it's following Bitcoin, so watch Bitcoin, and that'll give you an idea of how this coin's gonna do. It looks like it's following pretty close to Bitcoin, so you can mirror those two together. Possibly it'll help guide you. And the same with Dogecoin. Doge is rallying back up as well. Nice little breakout bar here, just under the 200, and then it pulled back. And you see that's retraced 50% already back. But there's support down here. I have a support line down here at 32, and looks like it might find support there, and they'll just be able to try to rally back up as well. But you see it's retraced half, which is the normal things you see in the market. So futures and index. So futures index. So the SPY, see the SPY is rallying up to new highs, pulled up, rallied up to 424.63, pulled down, went to 424.51, pulled down. So these are slightly lower lows. Not a big deal. I don't think that necessarily is going to hold back, because it's be easy for it to, now let's come back up again to break through and create a higher high. But you can see here that you have a higher low here and a higher low here. And so, I mean, if it's trending up, it could be a wedge here, and it could pull up here and still break the new highs. If it does break above this 424.50-ish range that seems like it's resistance, then we could rally up to around 420, 480, 425. The upper side looks like it's probably around 425.40. But if we break above that, it could go higher. But for right now, 425.40 would probably be the limit, I would say. If not, we could pull back here. But right now, it's above all the moving averages. So it is very bullish on the SPY, which is just incredible. Triple Qs. So you can see here that it's rallying up too, and it's got some strength here. It looks like in after hours as it's ramping up here. So the triple Qs is looking to possibly rally up from this 341.40, to 342, 342.90, somewhere in that range. If not, it could pull back a little bit. You got the 50 down here at 341, and then you have the 100 here at 340, so 50. So it could pull back here, but right now it's trying to bust through here and maintain that new high. So triple Qs are looking really good. The semiconductor space, it pulled back. I was a little nervous about this, but you can see it's right in the 50, which is good. It's above the moving averages. So it's right above the 20 right here now. But it's trying to rally back up and go to new highs. As long as this stays up, the Qs and the SPY will be able to continue to rally up to highs, new highs. But if it starts to fail back and pull back, could have a challenge here. And I see this curling right here as we're on this now live here. That makes me a little nervous. See these curls here. So we'll see. We'll monitor this, but as long as it stays above that 50, then should be good. Russell 2000. So IWM. You can see here that it's again pushing up higher. So it's good. I mean, everything's like looking very bullish right now still in the marketplace overall. Financials leveled off just below, right at this 200. It's got to get above the 200 to find strength to continue to rally. And so that 3760 seems to be resistance. So we'll see if we can break over that. If it doesn't, it could pull back, to the 50, which is, around 337.50. It could pull back lower, even lower, but hopefully we can hold that and keep the rally going and keep the strength in the market. So that's it. I know there's a lot of different stocks. I try to break them up into sections. And also, if I continue doing this, that'll hopefully help you to be able to forward to the videos you're looking for. So if you're saying, I want to find things that are under 10, you go to the first mark. If you want to find things that are over 250, you go to the fourth mark. And if you want to find crypto, you go to the fifth mark. And if you want to have futures, you can go to the sixth mark. And so kind of just trying to map those out, see how I can maybe do this a little differently. Provide your feedback. Let me know, does that work better for you? Is it more confusing? How helpful is this for you, and what areas do you want me to focus on? And I'll try to tweak and tune this as we go and make this valuable for you. So thank you. Have a great rest of the weekend, and happy trading on Monday.